Alright, what's up, people? Matty D here, been the Black, helping achieve emotional and physical well-being, and on my other channel, the financial well-being here. So, today's video, did you notice a little different here? Doing some phone calls from my laptop, Google Voice, good thing. I want to talk to you about how your relationship, with the parents growing up has an effect on your love life. Some people, a lot of people believe that, how your parents raised you and how they treat each other and gave you most affection and things, how that teaches you, how to put this, teaches you what you're gonna look for subconsciously and I guess also consciously in a mate, and how what you feel is the norm of how to be treated or treat others in a relationship. Here's the thing, that is true. If you let that affect you and don't change it, like if you had the best upbringing or your parents were very cold or whatever the case may be, if you realize that if you look at your relationships and you feel that you keep running to crappy, shitty relationships, and a good place to start is to where you learn this is your parents. Your parents have the biggest impact of you in your entire life. Outside of them are the people, but they are the foundation for what goes on in your life. They teach you. They have your parents when you're born have the biggest influence. They have the ability to teach you how to be healthy, how to be wealthy, how to be happy, amazing, how to be shitty, unhealthy, broke, all these things, because when you're born you don't know any better and you buy everything they tell you. And so when it comes to relationships down the road, holy cow, and your parents' relationship, it does have an effect on who you're going to choose down the road. If they don't actively, come to you and teach you and say, here's how you treat so and so, here's how you treat a man, here's how you treat a woman, here's how you should expect to be treated, here's what you need to love, here's healthy love, all these things, they don't actively teach you that and then demonstrate it. Well, you're going to have your own version of what love is compared to someone else, and by the power of life and, you can say law of attraction, energy, you're going to come together and relationship's going to start off really well and then just go to shit, because that's what happens. So, how do I know this? How can I tell you about this? Well, I have two true stories. I'll start with my father. My father, years ago, when he was growing up, my grandmother, who I never got to meet, had MS. And this is back in the 50s. My dad was born in 1952, I do believe. It was back in the 50s. And so, with technology back then, things weren't as good. And so eventually she became bedridden. And from my dad had told me, because my grandfather was in the Air Force, so my dad's dad, eventually they couldn't afford to have a nurse there, so they get rid of her. So the majority of responsibility fell to my father. On top of that, he took care of his mom and also helped raise his brothers, his younger brothers. There's like 3 or 4, four, I do believe. So when you had that much responsibility on you growing up as a child, it can have a pretty important impact on you. And what happened, what he told me, is that what it sounded like his mom just kind of let go, gave up, but she also was very sick in the mind, and she would lie about him to get him in trouble. She tried to beat him with a cane, tried to stab him with a knife. So my dad grew up having a lot of bad feelings towards her because she was pretty much shitty. And my dad had those issues. She died. I don't remember. I don't think he's ever told me when she passed. But she passed away way before I was born, so I never knew her. But I remember my dad telling me that the issues he had with her when she died, he was happy. Like, that's what happened. So clearly he had mom issues, okay? But those issues didn't really resurface until he got in his early 30s. He had issues with his mother. And by, unconscious creation and everything else, meets my mom, who has issues of her own from her mom, her dad, and everyone else. They got together, had a shitty relationship before they got married, not a great time. Then me and my sister came along, then there's divorce, then there's me and my mom, when things were good at first. And her and I started having conflict because I grew up and I wanted to do things different. My dad was raising me one way. My mother was raising me a different way. I'm giving you the short and sweet version of it all. And eventually a conflict. I didn't realize I wasn't aware of at the time in my teens that my mother wasn't a healthy person to be around to deal with on a long-term basis. So that created conflict between us into where we are now, where where her and I really are talking. I've done a lot of work and healing, and she hasn't. She's stagnated and stays where she is emotionally and holds on to stuff. So you can see the cycle has started with my father and repeated to my mother and I, and it stops with me. As far as, my dad having issues, he chose a bad mate. Not only that, but my dad is on his 4th marriage now, and the next 2 wives he had issues too. So it's taken him a long while to work on those deep core issues that kept him choosing the woman who was jacked up emotionally, because his mom was jacked up emotionally. It keeps going. As far as my experience with women, my dating life has been interesting, where within the last couple relationships, I've had my own low, self-worth issues to deal with. Not saying for my mom, I don't really see how my mother, there has been some of that, but because of her, and I guess with me not feeling worthy of her in some cases, has caused me to go with other women who had their own issues too, and then I just got, emotionally stabbed, and then I felt like I was horrible, so I've had my fair share of that too. So that's my experience. Really short and sweet version. Then there's my best friend, Chris. His dad, I've said this story more than once. The last time I saw his dad, I think I was 10 years old. I'm 32 now. It was at some Halloween thing, at some karate place. I think I've seen his dad twice. Have never seen his dad ever since. Haven't heard from him. None of that shit. And he didn't. His dad forgot about him, basically. Left his ass. And my best friend just turned 35 recently, and his dad left, and he found out a couple months ago that his father, I think he knew that his father had gone back to New York. So yeah, he found out somehow. I forget how. He told me, I forget how. But he found out his father had gone back to New York City, back to the Bronx City, I believe, if I remember correctly. And his father has started a whole new fucking family. Started a whole new family and totally disregarded his firstborn. Is at the time only son for a while. Started a whole new family, and for a long while, my friend went to a psychologist years ago, and the psychologist said you have abandonment issues because my best friend's gay. These family issues affect you whether you identify straight, bi, gay, whatever. It's gonna come out some form of fashion. So the men that he dated was horrible. They're horrible guys that started out great, went to shit, getting fights and everything else, just getting with the worst people who have their own fucked up issues. It's crazy. So whether you're gay and your parents got issues that affects who you choose to mate, you're straight, bi, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're gonna not choose the right partner for you until, and here's what you have to do, is look within you and see, okay, what did I learn about love from my parents? What have I seen? How do I, and more importantly, is a big thing, how do I feel about myself when it comes to the kind of person I want to be, person I want to be with, how I want to be treated in a relationship? If you start writing down all the things that you desire and want in a partner and how you want to feel in a relationship, and here's the thing, you got to take notice, if you start feeling sad or angry, any type of emotion where instead of feeling good, you may doubt these things, this is a sense of you not feeling worthy, your self-worth sucks, you still have hurt, could be abandonment issues, whatever it is, until those feelings are resolved, and you've resolved them by simply breathing into them, feeling them out, breathing love, and feeling them out till they go away. As you heal yourself, they're going to stay there and screw you up what you're going to do, no matter how many times you want to raise your vibration, imagine being the right partner, you have to correct these things. I don't want to say correct them, you have to heal. You have to feel them out to heal. That's what you have to do. And I'm not saying you're going to do this overnight, but there may be a lot of more stuff there that you can create on top of that. Because you have to understand, if you come from parents who have issues, you have years of emotional crap that's been built up. that has to be released, let go, dealt with, processed, whatever the word you want to use. It's got to be let go and let gone and not forgotten, but just let go. And you know, everybody wants to be with someone that they love. They want to be loved in a relationship. In the United States, at least, the divorce rate when the economy is good is over 50% because people can afford to because they can afford a divorce. The divorce rate in our country tends to only drop when the economy dips because people don't have the money to afford a divorce attorney and go to court. Expensive. So the thing is, people of all types are getting with the wrong person who's not going to love them the way they need to be, not going to give them what they deserve, and the person themselves can't be the person they want to be or think they can be in a relationship because they still have shit that's jacked up from their upbringing. It's about going back and fixing your foundation because your foundation affects all. You can't build an empire, or a building, or a garden, or anything if your foundation is jacked up. It can be healed, it can be repaired, whatever word you want to use, but you gotta take the time, make time to sit down with yourself and go, shit, what is it that I'm doing? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? And work on it. And that is something, if you like, I can help you out with, okay? Do with my coaching clients, sit you down, fill it out, do other stuff you want to work on because it's worth it. Because when you work on this issue, everything else in your life gets better. Especially with the technique that I can teach you, everything gets better in your life. I shit you not. I do this myself with other things that come up in my life, with regards to money, when it comes to other things with maybe I'm feeling not so worthy in one other area of my life. I work on that, and then all of a sudden everything else seems better. I feel more confident. It's weird because everything is interrelated and connected, and you're not really sure how it is until you dealt with it, and then things get better. So, with that being said, I end this video. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're brand new, if you're a person who's watching me, I appreciate you. Please like this video, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate you. And please like a free session here. We can do that. Shoot me an email. We'll schedule one together. Appreciate you, my friend. Get in the black. Have a good day.